Good morning, everyone. Thank you for watching. My name is Richard Warrington, and I own Mr. Guns Firearms located in Cave Creek, Arizona. If you're not familiar with where that is, we are north of North Scottsdale, and we are a boutique operation here, and this is my NFA video of the day. So there haven't been any further developments with NFA rulings or rules. Apparently they're still fighting over the pistol brace thing, which we all thought was long gone. And the reason I thought it was long gone is because as a dealer, you saw the changes in the industry and manufacturers eliminating pistol braces from their product lineups, if you will. And what that did was it told me that they were getting scared, right? They didn't want to associate with pistol braces. They didn't want to get caught up in any litigation with pistol braces. However benign we all know that is, okay? SBR pistol brace. We were hoping that first they vacated the rule, then they abandoned the rule. They'd have all this nuanced language for what they were going to do with the entire decision that they had made with overall length and length of pull. And remember, all of this started with the Q Honey Badger. If you didn't know that, that's where all this pistol brace language started, and it was brought to the ATF's attention by probably one of their competitors who didn't like the fact that, you know, they put a big dent in their sales. So all of a sudden, like, all these variants with pistol braces came out. There was SB Tactical. That guy got pulled in front of Congress. JMac has their own brace. There's the tail hook and all the rest of these variants, but they all accomplish the same thing, right? We're not stupid. And I have a couple of old guys who come in here that I confer with on a regular basis, and they help me out with firearm estimates and assessments. And, you know, they know basically in their mind, regardless of what it was defined as, they saw it as an SBR. No ifs, ands, or buts. So they're still talking about that. Hopefully in this latest round, that will be completely abandoned, and we won't have to deal with any more pistol brace issues. You can put a pistol brace on your gun if you want, or you can just go ahead and SBR it. In this dealer's opinion, because there is no tax stamp for an SBR now, there is no reason for you to not go in the system and go ahead and do your SBR. Now, the last SBR that I did as a dealer was for myself. If you watch my channel, you saw the M4 that I was running around with in the truck. That was the last gun that I SBR'd. So as a dealer, I filled out a Form 1 to myself as a civilian non-dealer, and it took about 45 days. I don't know if that timeline has improved at all. Typically, what happens as the processing is starting to thin out, the people who did, there was a ton of submissions like right after the first of the year. As that starts to thin itself out, I'm seeing that forms are coming back more quickly, Form 4s for suppressors. And if you go ahead and you submit something as an SBR, you're probably going to get it back quicker than that. So, you know, just go ahead and SBR it. Get yourself a nice stock on a nice short gun. I like short guns. The SEALs still run short guns. MARSOC still runs short guns. If you're not a DMR guy and you don't have to reach out and touch somebody, get yourself a short gun. They're easier to manage. And I'm not just talking about CQB or a vehicle. They're just easier to manage. They're easier for your wife. They're easier for your kids. If you shoot good ammo in them, Frank tells me you can still shoot 550 with it. Scout sniper, but you know what I mean? Like if he's telling me that, I listen to him. So they continue to roll out more rules. There wasn't anything really earth-shattering in the latest round. They're picking away at little things, paperwork, the amount of time you have to keep paperwork. I know they're talking about online sales. It doesn't have to be over the counter. That would be fantastic for someone like myself, someone who's going completely online. that could really, expand the ease at, with which it to get firearms, especially if you live out in the middle of nowhere, man. You and I both know that, like, it's a rare case now where you can't get mail delivered to your house. FedEx, UPS, DHL, whomever, and any of those guys will, ship guns. So if you live out in the middle of nowhere and you don't have an FFL, I had a guy who watches my channel call me the other day. He's like, hey, will you help me sell my guns? My nearest dealer's an hour and a half away. I was like, wow, that's a serious challenge for somebody. Like, that's an all-day affair, right? He's got to get his guns. He's got to drive there, hour and a half. He's got to spend the time with the dealer, taking care of all the gobbledygook. He's got to get them shipped to me, and then he's got to drive home. There's half your day shot. So if you can prove you are who you say you are, fill out a 4473 online, get a gun shipped to you in the mail. Why not? We should already have the ability to get suppressors and whatnot shipped to us, right? Why not? We should not have to go through the NFA process of suppressors, getting a suppressor. And a suppressor is a completely different animal than any other classified firearm, if you will. So while they continue to roll these changes out, we continue to do business, working on some more short-barreled shotgun stuff, working with the Wizard. I've got a bunch of projects for him to work on, FRT-wise, Tommy Gun FRT, Chris Vector FRT, Glock FRTs, TX22 FRTs. So we have lots of content for you guys. If you've noticed, I don't get on here and say, this rule 5320.2. Like, I don't do that. You guys aren't going to get that. And I want you, the viewer, to be able to understand more about what's going to make it easier for you to just own guns. That was my whole foray into this, is like, what's going to make it easier for you to own guns? And I lived in California during that time, so I had no intentions of becoming like a full-on dealer. But this is where I ended up. What's going to make it easier for you to get guns? What's going to make it less regulated to get the things that you probably should be able to own already? I appreciate all the comments. I appreciate the views. Thank you for your shares to your friends and your family. Mr. Guns _AZ and Mr. Guns _AZ1 on Instagram. Bad _shooters on YouTube. Thank you for all your support. I'll have another video up soon. Have a great weekend, guys.